Karatia Anani Babechaya Min HaMetzai Karatia Anani Babechaya Page 665. It's a single verse from one of the Psalms from a very narrow place, from a Meitzar. I called out, I sang out. And from the divine I received an expansive opening. I invite you guys to sit a little closer if you're farther than 3 rows away. If you're on Zoom, get a little closer too. And maybe pull out a pair of candlesticks and light up the space you're in. Min HaMetzar. Min HaMetzar Karatia Anani Babechaya Tada Tada Welcome, friends. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Veronica, would you like to stand closest to the candles? Would you be willing to do that? Thank you. And if you're at home and have a set of candlesticks to kindle, let's connect our spaces one to another. By lighting this, we connect to this sanctuary, to all sanctuaries, from living rooms, past and present, to the sacred temple, to the Mishkan, the sanctuary the Israelites built and traveled with them for 40 years in the wilderness. May it guide us and continue to guide us tonight. Page 4 and 5 in the prayer book, the blessing for the candle lighting of Shabbat. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'alineh Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Looking for the divine light in one another. It's how the angels live. With the next prayer, we invite the messengers, the angels of peace to join us on this Shabbat. And by the end of the melody on page 13, we send them off with blessings of peace. And maybe you can think of how to first starting to receive the blessings of Shabbat and this community, and the other blessings surrounding you that you're feeling palpably this evening, to welcome them in, to receive them fully, to name them, and then perhaps identify someone you want to send a blessing to. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Boachem.
Boachem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Machuni.
Machuni Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Now sending those blessings outward.
Tzedkem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMalachim Kadosh Baruch Hu.
What is Shabbat? The word as a verb, shavat, means to stop, to take a pause, to take a break. The good kinds of breaks. Not the kinds you hear about on the chairlift at a ski area or the snow ski patrol person. But the kind that invites you to pause and reflect on the week that's gone by. So the traditional liturgy, the next 20 pages or so of your prayer book will have a series of 6 psalms, one for each of the days of the week that we've now completed since Saturday night, so going through Sunday, the first day of the week in the Jewish calendar, to tonight. So you might look at those, browse through or skim through the psalms, and see if there's a verse or a phrase or a word that stands out. Or you can close the book and just close your eyes and reflect on the week that's gone by. Tune into your breath. Take in memories that make you smile, lift your spirit, be inspired by them. And with the exhale, let the breath carry away the exhaust of the week. 4 or 5 centuries ago, the Kabbalists in northern Israel would gather outside, I guess weather permitting, and go into the fields to welcome the Sabbath as if they were celebrating at a wedding, receiving the bride, receiving Shabbat, this moment in time, a palace in time, a sanctuary in time, as a beloved, a long-awaited 6 days of separation and a reunion coming. And this is a melody that made its way to Jerusalem from, I'm not sure which native community here, indigenous community in this continent. Page 41. Yandai, yandai, yandai,
Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat, V'zachor, V'alibor Echad, Hishmiyanu, El HaMichad, Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad, V'Shemo Tiferet, Belitila, Lechadori, Likakala, Yalai, 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 Neshabbat, Nikabelai, Yalai, Lechadori, Likakala, Yalai, Yalai, Neshabbat, Nikabelai.
Page 43, Likrat.
Likrat Shabbat, Echu v'necha, Ki mekor haberacha, Erosh mikedem besucha, Sof maseh v'machshava tehila, Lechadori likrat kala, Yalai, 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 Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lechadodi, Shabbat, Kabbalat.
Page 47, go to the last 2 verses. No offense to the author of the prayer, whose initials are on each of the verses. We'll go to his last name. Yaminu Smo, Difrosi, Et Adonai, Darizi, Ayadish, Ben Pasi, Ben Ismecha, Ben Agila, last verse, we turn and face the door at the back of the room, and we pretend we're at a wedding. And here comes the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam v'simcha u'tzola, toch emunei am segula. We bow to the right, to the left. Boi kala, boi
kala lekatoni. Greet each other. Adonai Adonai Bnei Shabbat Kabbalat Shabbat lekatoni. Adonai 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 Bnei Shabbat Kabbalat lekatoni. Kala, Bnei Shabbat Kabbalat, Lechatoti Yanai 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 Bnei Shabbat Kabbalat. You may be seated. Neshama, thank you for turning on your video so I can see your smile and your clap. Shabbat Shalom. And then we come back inside. And we have a psalm or a song for Shabbat that bridges this transition from the natural world, the natural beauty, and the natural state of rest and ease to creating a space for Shabbat and the Ma'ariv prayer. So Laura's going to in the these last chapters of the book of Exodus, we've left Egypt. We've been sustained by manna. We made it to the mountain, this Mount Sinai, received the 10 Commandments. And then there's one more additional command that Moses and God gives to us, and that is, yes, love your neighbor and, create a just society, but also build a special place, a sanctuary, where you can experience me, the divine presence, dwelling among you. Asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Create a sanctuary for me. So Shabbat is a sanctuary in time. We have created this beautiful sanctuary here in Evergreen. We can also create a sanctuary within ourselves to receive Shabbat.
Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy. I am tried and true in thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Vasuli mikdash v'shechanti bo betocham. Vasuli mikdash v'shechanti betocham. Amen. I am your sanctuary, God. I am yours. Oh, and I to be your sanctuary. I am tried and true, I am yours with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary. I am a sanctuary. I am your sanctuary. I am yours.
And we rise to create a communal sanctuary. Page 57. Baruch Hu is a call to service, a call to action. So it's a call and response. We're all yes.
Baruch Hu,
Baruch Hu,
dear one,
dear one,
Shekhinah,
Shekhinah,
holy name.
holy name.
When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu,
Baruch Hu,
dear one,
dear one,
Shekhinah,
Shekhinah,
holy name.
holy name.
When I call on the light of my soul, I come home.
Gathered now as a minyan, as a sacred community, we prepare ourselves to hear Torah, receive new wisdom, some new insight, like drawing a tarot card or an angel card, or turning to a friend and saying, "Help! Teach me, guide me." Preparing ourselves for that, receiving that wisdom, and perhaps offering it. Two blessings. One, for the natural cycles, light and dark, the seasons, and then for the blessing for having the capacity to receive love. Page 59. Umavir yom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvelayla, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam vayed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Page 61. Let's read responsively by stanza. I'll begin. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. Together? Touched by fingers that soothe us even when we are too proud for soothing. Counseled by voices that guide us even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by unending. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Together, embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. Beloved. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 65 and 64, Shema. Listening and wrestling. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. And his expression of this, of affirmation of the oneness of the divine, we love. We are called upon to love with our whole heart, with every breath, and with all you have. And in case you forget, there's lots of little reminders as to how you remember. From post-it notes on your doorposts to fringes on your prayer shawl and to services like this. Page 79. How many are the paths to freedom? Right, for our ancestors, they had to follow the pillar of cloud and fire, Moses through the wilderness, follow the manna. We also have, well, the pillar of cloud is a symbol of lots of things, like truth that sets us free, like principles and laws that can free us by creating a just society and inspiring us. This Shabbat is the Shabbat before Purim. So if Purim is a way to set us free, what is the practice? Oscar Wilde once said, and I hope I'm getting this correct, a person is never so free as when he is wearing a mask. Sometimes a costume can imprison us, and sometimes it can release us. So there's a custom of singing the next prayer, Micha Mocha, on page 79, to a melody that anticipates the holiday upcoming. Right? So there's a a Purim song. It goes like this. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai la la dai 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 dai, yai la la dai 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 dai, yai la la dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, osefele. Mask and song bring along groggers loud and clear. We're counting on you to bring your groggers on Monday, and you can come back on Wednesday for the Megillah reading too. May it set us free. May the frivolity of Purim and the masking. And I hear there'll be an adult costume contest as well on Monday. So there you go. Huh? Oh, we missed Andy's song.
We missed it.
I'm sorry. So the next prayer we'll do is Hashkivenu. The translation is on page 80. There's transliteration of the Hebrew on page 83.
Shelter us beneath your wings, oh Adonai. Guard us from harmful things, oh Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with the morning's light. Teach us thy road from pride. Amen. 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 Amen.
company, food that brings us comfort on Shabbat, candlelight, words, ancient ancestral words, and melodies, music, waters of healing. We'll offer a prayer for healing. If you have a name to include, please do. You can put it in the chat. Sounding okay online, everybody? Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our ancestors grant blessing and healing to all those who ail. This evening we call to mind Dick Friedland, Robbie Glantz, Jim Prochaski, Chuck Drage, Herb Schwartz, Andy Winkler, Stacy Magia, Sally Korf, Don Greenberg, Lori Feldstein, Ron Kleban, Tammy Kleban, Joan Seiler, Kathy Kaiser, David Desch, Howard Weinberg, Robin Chalker, Mike Schneider, Nancy Friedman, Marty Diesenhoff, Steve Bernstein, Leslie Maines, Renee Lordich, Susan Levin, Edward Cohen. Other names to include? Jim Brady.
Az Yeshir Yisrael et Hashira Hazot Ali Ve'edula Az Yeshir Yisrael et Hashira Hazot Ali Ve'edula waters of healing, waters of life, we thirst for love and truth. Waters of healing, waters of life, rise up and we'll sing with you. Az Yeshir Yisrael et Hashira Hazot Ali Ve'edula Az Yeshir Yisrael et Hashira Hazot Ali Ve'edula waters of healing, waters of life, we thirst for love and truth. Waters of healing, waters of life, rise up and we'll sing with you.
these rituals that we use to bring in Shabbat. The candles, lighting the candles in the evening, which echo the ritual that the priests would do at each evening to light the menorah, the seven-branched menorah that stood in the temple, which was called a ner tamid, the bowl of light above the ark. In every synagogue around the world has a ner tamid. So when you light candles in your own home, you are kindling a menorah that echoes all the way back to Moses and our ancestors lighting a menorah in their sanctuary. The challah, the braided bread that we do at the Shabbat table, is an echo of the manna, the food that sustained the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years in the desert, that appeared in the morning, every morning, just enough that they needed for that day, for 6 days of the week, and then on the seventh day they were allowed to have leftovers. They didn't have to cook. And so the double portion of manna reflects the 2 loaves of challah that we have on the Shabbat table. And it is said that when the temple was destroyed, that the altar, the place that was sort of our internet access to the divine, a porthole to the divine, shifted from the single altar that stood in Jerusalem, or in the Mishkan as the temple was traveling, to the dining room table. And that those who set the table and prepared the meal were the new priests. And throughout the Torah, the description of the role that the Israelites are to play in relation to the rest of the world is that we are to be a nation of priests, to officiate, to facilitate this and mediate this bridge between the divine and humanity and the earth. And Shabbat, one could say, and our blessed teacher Arthur Waskow says that Shabbat may be the most precious gift that the Jewish people have to offer the world. And it's actually been one that's pretty successfully received, right? Most religions in the Western Hemisphere, for sure, have some sort of day off, or day of prayer, or day of rest, a Sabbath. So it's been a pretty successful marketing campaign that came out of this, wandering 12 tribes in the wilderness, and such a gift that connects us. Each of these elements of ritual connect us to the story and remind us each week of our role vis-a-vis the rest of the world. Truly, may we be a drop that has ripple effects of all that Shabbat is meant to be for us. A time for building community and family ties, a time for rest, a time for beauty in music and in food, a time of delight, of oneg. One of the passages from the book of Esther that is recited every week at the end of Shabbat is La Yehudim Haita Ora B'Simcha V'Sason Bikar Kenti Lanam. For all those who have cultivated gratitude for Shabbat. My translation of Yehudim, which means Jews. May you have light, ora, v'simcha, and gladness. The sason, another name for joy. Eskimos have lots of names for snow. Jews have lots of words for joy. And vikar, and a sense of preciousness. Isn't that what setting aside a day and sanctifying it, what we do kiddush mean, is to remind ourselves to take something otherwise ordinary, like a sundown, or a meal, or even what could become ordinary as a prayer, and make it precious. Yikar, precious. May this be a precious moment. May we learn from these inherited rituals how to make every moment precious or holy. Shabbat Shalom. On page 121, we invoke a practice to rise and bow with the words Aleinu. We use the refrain. It's a two-word phrase that's repeated in the prayer, Ein Od, which means there is no other, or utterly unique. And isn't that what we mean when we say precious, right? Something. This is a unique moment. This moment has never happened before and will never happen again. Ein Od, 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 Ein Od. Aleinu l'shabeach. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adonai kol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. Now we turn east and bend and bow. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. Next page, כך כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, שמו אחד. אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. You may be seated. Elizabeth, if you want to come and offer some announcements, or you can try it via Zoom. As she's coming, you can slow down. I got a reading I want to do. Page 126. So what are we bowing for? What are we receiving as a mission? Aleinu, it's upon us to hallow creation, to respond to life with the fullness of our own lives. It's up to us to meet the world and embrace the whole, even as we wrestle with its parts. It is up to us to repair the world, tikkun olam, and to bind our lives to truth. Want to join me? Therefore, we bend the knee and shake off the stiffness that keeps us from the subtle graces of life and the supple gestures of love. With reverence and thanksgiving, we accept our destiny and set for ourselves the task of redemption. Sages taught that the Sabbath is a foretaste, a sample of the world to come, of a perfect world. And when everyone on the planet celebrates Shabbat at the same moment, we'll have reached that moment. Perfect world. Elizabeth.
All right. Well, you may have heard that a holiday is coming up. We'll be having our Purim Spiel on Monday at 7 p.m., written by Ron Solomon. It should be super funny and a really good time. And there will be food and drinks and all kinds of celebrating. So please come to that. On Wednesday, we're having our Purim Carnival and Megillah reading. So do you want to say something about that?
Boo!
So the carnival's for the little kids, but the Megillah reading is for everybody, and we're doing the Megillah reading at 5:30.
Megillah reading will be at 6.
6.
The songs,
Okay.
but if you want to do some Purim songs before 5:30.
Okay, so there we go. Also, this next week, we've got the hiking Havurah on Friday. We'll be going to Dakota Ridge, and the cooking Havurah is having their dinner. It's going to be Persian food, and whose house is it at? At Stacy Lehner's house. Okay.
For those of you who enjoyed dinner tonight, sign up and come next week. Everybody brings a potluck dish around a theme. So we picked Persian because
All right.
Persian food as well as Middle Eastern food. So
Okay.
there's a sign-up genius.
Yes. Yes. Please check our website for the sign up for that. And I think that's all I've got.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you to Sarah and Josh, the Hesses, who have been running sound and getting their sound legs and ears, getting our system together. And thank you, of course, to Laura Berman for lending to our service. And of course, and thank you to Michael for hosting the Zoom and welcoming folks, and Neshama, everybody, Susan, Alyssa, Carrie, great to see you, and Sandy, Shabbat Shalom. So, of course, before we close the service, we pause and acknowledge those who have passed on. So, first, extending condolences to those who have lost loved ones recently. As we prepare to say the mourner's prayer, the mourner's Kaddish, I'll offer some names. These are the names of folks who have passed away in the last 3 or 4 months. Nicole Kaspar, Lisa Lardner, Alan Perelman, Cheryl Lynn Tropin, Sam Stein, Ken Clare, Jean Williams, Seymour Meister. And we have some yahrzeits, anniversaries of passings that to name. So Philip Ellman, Teresa Blanche Aversa, Paul Nitkin, Robert Davis, Bob Davis, my friend, it's his first yahrzeit. Shelley Glantz, Jack Aaron Torf, Ronald Lehman, Mackenzie's grandfather, Carrie's father, Nathan Norman Isaacson, my grandfather, Marilyn Weiner, Susan Simon, David Sanders, Nettie Sanders, Charles W. Weinfeld, Yeti Sterensis, Robert Charles Murphy Jr., Larry Winfield, Thelma Cope, Jeffrey Martin Krasansky, Helen Frudenthal, J. Robert Levy, Ron Wolkowitz, Janet Lehman, Jeff Glantz, and Rennie Schwartz. Other names to include for Kaddish. Irene Bryant. Margie Montague. Thank you, Michael. Seymour Hanan.
Stuart and Sylvan Rankin.
Stuart and Sylvan Rankin. So those honoring your art site or currently in mourning and want to rise for the mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish is on page 130, 131. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach tirutei Be'amlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael V'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. May the community, may the Shabbat bring comfort to those in mourning and peace to us, to Israel, to our neighbors, and to all who dwell on earth. And we say, Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu yaseh
Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru
Okay, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Just one other announcement, just to put on your calendar. On the next music Shabbat is James Taylor Carole King music this month. It's the 19th.
17th or 19th.
I think it's the 17th. Friday. Friday the 17th. That's right, 17th. Between my parents' birthdays. That's right.
Oh.
2 weeks from tonight. Friday the 17th, and we'll also have there'll be a baby naming as well during the ceremony.
Yay.
What's that? in costumes because it's the month of Purim. All right, thanks, friends. Shabbat shalom.